really quiet. Come on, help me out a little bit. How are you this morning? See, that's better. I'm excited. If you can't tell, I have to calm my nerves for a second while I stand up here. I'm excited that I get to share something with you because, as always, it is something that God is teaching me, showing me, growing me, and so I consider you guys my friends and my family, and so whenever God is showing me something, I love that I get to share it with you guys because maybe it might be something that would encourage you or help you also. So, with that, do you guys have a busy schedule this summer? Are you really busy? Stuff's happening, stuff moves really fast, and I have 2 little ones, and I am taking care of them. Some moms get really excited that it's summertime and they get to spend all this time with their little ones at home. And while I love my little ones with all of my heart, summer makes me panic. And that is because our schedules, which should slow down a little, seem to get a little bit crazier. And I have this problem sometimes with saying, no, we can't do that, and overbooking our schedule, so then I run around looking like a crazy person. Can anybody relate to that? Being crazy, busy all the time. And so God is teaching me something in my busyness. And I've learned that sometimes in my busyness, I am missing details on things that He wants to show me. A lot of times people don't get to see my craziness. I hide it really well, and if you have seen it, please don't let on how crazy it really looks in person. So a lot of things that I might tell you today, you wouldn't know if I weren't telling you because I hide this well. But, like I said, in the craziness, in the busyness, my crazy shines sometimes. And in the busyness, sometimes you can accidentally be about to hurry up and leave the house, and you go to stick your phone in your pocket, and then suddenly you realize your pants are on inside out. And so you turn those around really fast because you need to put your phone in the pocket so that you can rush out the door until you realize that now your shirt's on backwards too. And so you think, oh my gosh, I just put my clothes on completely backwards. My 2-year-old got out of the house better than I did today. My 3-year-old, sorry. And so then you change your pants. But those are minor details, right? I have somewhere I have to be. And so I'm hurrying to get out of the house. So you change your pants and your shirt and you rush out. So busy. Sometimes your busyness might make you accidentally kind of put the key at the front door at the post office and not on the inside at the post office box. And I'm real thankful for that man who didn't let everybody else know my crazy, but I was trying to unlock the post office that never locks. But that's okay, see? So if I wasn't telling you some of my crazy, you wouldn't understand what I'm talking about. It wasn't until one day somebody actually did call me out on my crazy that I really realized how busy I was, that I wasn't in the moment. So I'm going to share this story with you just so that you understand the details of a moment. And so I was taking care of a friend's kid. A friend trusts me with her child, and we are out in public, and we have to go to Walmart. If anybody can relate to the fact that you already have a busy schedule and you have to go into Walmart where there's only like 1 or 2 checkers and you're thinking, oh my gosh, we are already late and we're fixing to be later, but I have to go to Walmart. And so you rush into Walmart and you were so thankful that there was nobody in the 20 items or less that had too many items, and so you were like, yes, this trip is going fast, right? And so I've got 3 little kids in tow, one of them not being my own. And so we rush through Walmart, everything is crazy, and then suddenly we rush out to the car, and I'm putting these children in this car when all of a sudden my friend's child says, Brandice, this is not your car. And I say, yes it is, buckle up, we've got to get to the next place, we don't have time for you to sit here. She said, Miss Brandice, this isn't your car. And again, I'm like, little girl, it is. So can you please buckle up? And it wasn't until I started to buckle my son in this car seat that suddenly I realized that was not his car seat. And suddenly, as I look over, there might have been a booster in a car seat, but it sure wasn't my car. And so suddenly, as I just got caught in my crazy by a little 8-year-old, I said, get out of the car, get out of the car. Everybody out of the car quickly and walk and don't look back. Do not look back. And so we run around the Walmart parking lot, and I can't find my own car. I don't know whose car that was, but they should not have left it unlocked so that I could accidentally get into it, buckle my children in. But they did. And so in my crazy, I realized, oh my gosh, I just got called out on my crazy in my busyness, that I didn't even recognize that wasn't my car. To my defense, it was the same color as my car. So I had a moment where I realized that I am way too busy, that I am missing not just minor details of having your clothes on inside out, but I'm making big mistakes as I put my children in the wrong car. So after that happened recently, I started to recognize, how busy am I? And what details am I missing in my busyness? And I don't know about you guys, but frequently I hear myself, and my friends like to point these things out to me, that I'm always saying, oh my gosh, I'm so behind. Behind what? Or I say, woohoo, I almost caught up with everything. Well, with what? I'm the grown-up, right? I'm the one who makes the schedule. So whose schedule am I behind and whose am I trying to catch up with? Because if it's my own, this moment should be enough, right? So what is in a moment? What is in your moment? Are you really busy? Are you going through things that maybe you're missing the details of this moment, trying to catch up to a future moment, or living in yesterday's moment? As I was getting ready for this, I was reading, and I came across a story that really felt like it related to me in this situation. And it's in John 11, and I'm going to just kind of read through so that you can hear the story of the moment. And it's paraphrased because it's out of the Message. But what I want you to hear is that you will see there are several moments happening in one moment. So there was a man, and his name was Lazarus, and this is the friend of Jesus. His sister, Mary and Martha, had a big dinner for him. Remember that story where she anointed his feet with the special oils? And so Lazarus becomes sick, and Jesus is doing what is in Jesus' moment. He's taking care of his ministry and what God has put before him. And so when he gets word that he's sick, he says, this sickness is not fatal, and it will become an occasion to show God's glory by glorifying God's Son. So Jesus, he loved Martha and her sister and Lazarus, but when he heard, he did not drop everything that he had to run to Lazarus. And as we all know, Jesus has the ability to heal the sick, to raise the dead. And so I'm sure if you think in this moment, the people around Jesus could possibly be thinking, why are you not running to your friend's side? Why are you not leaving all of this to go to him, to heal him, to take care of him? But Jesus wasn't worried about a later moment. He was in his moment. So when he finally starts making his way around, he gets to the town, and when he gets there, Martha heard that he was traveling to their town. And so Martha drops everything and runs to meet Jesus. And she asks him, why didn't you come sooner? See, Martha ran to meet him where he was, because in her moment, you see, her brother is very sick. He's dying, and then he ultimately does die. So when Jesus gets word while he's traveling that Lazarus is ill, Martha and Mary are in their own moment. They're dealing with their own sadness, with their own grief, and their own loss. So see, something is happening, and it's affecting everybody so differently. Jesus continues on. Mary and Martha are devastated. So when Martha runs out to meet him, Jesus is like, I'm here. Well, Mary, the sister, stayed at home. She didn't rush out to meet. She heard word that Jesus was coming. What do you think she was feeling in her moment? Her brother just died. She had seen the miracles that Jesus had performed, and so she knew what he was capable of. She knew that if he would have came to her in her moment, that her brother would have been saved. But he didn't. And so she sat back waiting. It wasn't until Martha came back to tell her, Mary, the teacher wants to see you. You need to come to him. And so Mary goes out to him, and he asked, where did you put your brother? Well, by this time, he had already been dead for 4 days. And they tell him, well, he's already been dead because you didn't come. You didn't show up in our moment that we needed you. But Jesus doesn't stop there. He goes on and he says, show me where he is. And so they go to the tomb that he is at, and Jesus says the words that change the whole story. Jesus tells Lazarus to come out. And in this moment, everybody who is around to support Mary and Martha, to love on them, to show them their love in this moment, Lazarus comes out, and God's name is glorified through the Son of Man. See, when Jesus got word, he wasn't ignoring the moment that was happening. He knew exactly what he was capable of, and he knew exactly of the time that would happen. Mary and Martha didn't know what God was doing. Mary and Martha didn't know that he already had an appointed time for Jesus and Lazarus to glorify him. They were in their own moment. And so you can see in this story how these people deal with these moments so differently while they're the same moment. And so I want to ask you, what does your moment look like? What is your moment? Over the last 2 years, for some of our friends who might not know, over the last 2 years, I've become a single mom to 2 very small children when Chris suddenly passed away. In my loss and in my grief, I would much rather stay busy, because then I don't have to focus on the moment. I would much rather look ahead to what busyness I could do tomorrow or the next day or the days that are going to come after that. But what I'm learning in this moment is that tomorrow does not matter. Jesus has told us that tomorrow has plenty of worries all on its own. Why do you want to get there? Because what I have for you in this moment is what I need you to be focused on. It's in these moments of my busyness where I accidentally put my children in the wrong car that maybe I'm missing something. God is showing me that even though I have become a single mother, in this moment, I get to parent his 2 children. I get to be their influence. And it is through his grace that I will have everything that I need in this moment to take care of them, to love them, to guide them, to prepare them for their moment. It's been in this 2 years that I've realized that I like to stay so busy so that I don't have to sit in the pain of what this moment is doing. And it wasn't until I accidentally put them in the wrong car that I realized I'm missing the details. Because I'm not saying that it feels good in this moment necessarily. Of course, there are great days. But in those still, quiet moments where he says, be still, Know that I am God and that I love you. It is in those moments that I recognize over the last few weeks that He is preparing me, He is growing me, and He is teaching me, because He has another moment that I'm going to need to know certain things. But if I am so busy trying to get to that moment, I just might miss the detail that's happening in this moment. I just might miss what He's equipping me to do later on. So are you in a moment that maybe it feels better to hurry and run forward to the next moment? And maybe it's because that's a happy moment and you want to run so quickly to that next moment. But you've got to understand there's something in this moment that you need to know for your later moments. I know that high school just graduated. So many seniors are ready for their next adventure, and I can't imagine the excitement that they are having. Do you remember that feeling where you graduate school and you know that there are just possibilities before you? These seniors that just finished that, they're ready for their next moment. And over this summer, they're going to be equipped and prepared for later moments. As I was getting my daughter ready for the end of summer, like I said, all the moms that were really excited about summer, I was one of the ones that was crying a lot for summer. And it was in that moment that I recognized she and I get to spend this whole summer together. We get to be in a moment that I get to teach her. I get to love her. I get to be her influence this whole summer. And that's when I said, God, I'm so sorry for hurrying through these moments. And I just want to slow down enough to where I focus on today's moment, because you are preparing me for a later moment. As part of my story goes, y'all know that I have dealt with addiction, and I want to share that I had no idea when we were in that place. I had no idea where God was going to be preparing me for a later moment. I had no idea that the things that I have gone through with Chris were going to be preparing me for something later. I was just trying to get through a moment in those days. And so I clung to the Lord with all that I had, because I didn't know what the next moment would hold. And so it's been through this process that He's reminded me of what those moments felt like when He was all that I held on to. And so now it's time that I go back to that place and I slow down enough to say, you are everything that I need. You are the life that I need now. And I'm okay with whatever it is that you want to prepare me for later. I just want to sit in this moment as you prepare me for what you have. And so I want you to sit and think, what does your moment look like today? Are you like I am, and you're so busy and you're so caught up in what's going to happen later that you're missing out on the life that He has given you to live today? And don't worry. He's going to equip you. He's going to encourage you. He's going to love you through everything that you're going to need for your later moment. And when the time is right, He is going to be there beside you, asking you to share what your moment has been with somebody else who is in their moment. You'll get to celebrate in somebody else's moment of happiness. And you'll get to be an encourager in somebody else's moment of sadness and grief. We've all come together in this place for a reason, and it's so that we can all slow down and focus on the moments that we have, so that we can share in what we're needed to do our part later. We all have a story. We've all been brought here to share in those stories together, and we all have a part to do. Don't miss out on being so busy that you miss out on your moment to be a part of something bigger. And so I just want to ask you guys, as I finish out today, to just look around and take notice. What is your moment? Are you living in it? Or are you busy trying to get to the next one? Or are you sad about a moment in the past that you can't see how great today could be, for the moments of yesterday are gone? I don't say anything to make anybody sad. I do hope, though, that through sharing some of my story, that I'm able to encourage you that we're all going through things together, and we all have moments where friends and family brought together to be able to help each other through all of this. And I am just hoping that you can see the moments that are happening around you, maybe different for everybody, maybe handled different for everybody, but we're brought here for a time of today. If you will, stand with me so that we can pray. I want you to know that if you are in a moment and you're not sure what exactly this moment is for, that you're not sure exactly what this moment is holding for you, I want you to know that there are people in this building who want to pray with you, who want to just be a part of your story. There are people here in this building who want to be able to walk with you through your moments so that we can celebrate your happy moments and be there for you through the hard moments. And so if you're at a place where you don't know exactly what your moment is today and you want somebody to pray with you, I want you to know that there will be someone over here in this area to pray with you, to just listen and encourage you. And you don't have to be afraid of your moment. You don't have to be afraid of what's going on. I just shared my crazy with you. And so as scary as it sounds, it's okay to let your friends in, to be there for you. Lord, I am so thankful for the opportunity that you have given